there, I'm Manik Senanayake. Welcome to my channel Get Hired. As always, I'll be just guiding you towards realizing all your career aspirations. And today we are going to look at a special segment, the first job. What's the approach you should take when you are applying for your first job? So now you are eagerly waiting in anticipation that first entry to start off your career. Now, this goes on without saying that both the candidate as well as the hiring manager or the company or the employer knows that you don't have professional experience. Now, you would have probably maybe done your A-levels, or maybe you have done a degree, or probably you would have done some professional exam. Now, all those elements of qualification doesn't really constitute that you have professional experience, although the subject matters deals with professional financial management. It doesn't really constitute you have experience. So you might not want to really share and have confidence that saying that you have the experience, which is not. Because qualification is basically shows that you have discipline and you have commitment, and that's it. And that you have that kind of engagement to reproduce material within time. So don't go selling the proposition that you have experience. So it's better that you really focus on the abilities and skill set. Now, when you start approaching that, one of the biggest mistakes that most of the at entry level candidates make is that they make that qualification or a degree or whatever they have received some education knowledge as the key USP or the main selling point, the biggest punchline. It shouldn't be like that, because what they're looking at is mostly not about the knowledge, it's about whether you are hireable, whether you are approachable. So you need to really make sure that it's the personality that needs to come out. Besides, everyone else will be selling education at that time for the hirer as the key USP. So the name of the game is to basically differentiate yourself from all the others. Now, apart from that, also education, if you look at high performance or companies or cultures in the West especially, they don't put too much emphasis in the qualification. What they're really looking at is the skill set and how you can really add value. So basically your potential and abilities. So much so that certain organizations really don't look for qualification, because with internet and all those means of accessing knowledge through self-learning, they're looking at the transferable skills. What is it that you can really bring to the table? But usually in any organization, qualification is used as a filtering mechanism just to limit the candidate pool. So that's the first line of filter. So assume you have qualification, and you can use that, but not to over extrapolate that. Besides, I've seen these advertisements in the papers where they have asked for sales managers to fill in sales position, and they are asking for degrees. Now, I'm not quite getting the understanding the rationale, because sales is totally different. It's about intuition, it's about connectivity, it's about how you have the marketing skills, interact with people. It's nothing to do with qualification. But mismatch is there in terms of what the functions demands and what they're looking as the pre-qualifications. We are still very much in the bubble, so we have as a nation need to really catch up in terms of understanding what are the functions are and where the qualification is aligned with that. But that's a different debate. So how do you approach? There are two ways that you need to really focus on. Number one, as I said earlier, is all about the personality. You need to show your personality. What the employer doesn't know is that whether you are coachable, whether you are willing to learn, whether can you grow with the organization, will you fit into the organization culture, will you work with teams. So you need to bring that kind of personality out, that character out, show that you are a likable person and you are you are focused in contributing value and that you can work with person. So a pleasing personality, emanating positive vibes, a likable personality is something which you want to really focus on. So you got to keep your egos out, your attitude out, show that, I'm willing to learn. I have these qualifications over a period of time. Let me understand your culture and your business and let me add value. And I like to grow with the organization. So don't give the impression that this is just a first entry and you're looking at a stopgap to launch your career. No, see the employer as positive, something which you're looking at long term. So very important that you bring your demeanor out, your personality, your positivity, confidence, the body language, how you move, how you engage. So work on the personality, because personality trait is something which a lot of entry-level candidates don't really show at an interview. So that is very important. And number two is basically, even if you don't have experience, which are in a professional scenario, you still can show transferable skill. As I said, there is another qualification about transferable skills. So how do you do that? Pretty much basically your school career as well as your academic career or universities or professional, all that so far, maybe you're 21, 22 years or maybe 20 years, you can really look at the parallels. Now, for example, if you're going to a customer service job, and probably you can show from your through your education, your schools, how you interact with teams, how you work with different teams, how you're really good at conducting different programs, voluntary work, and have that engagement traits. If you're going for an accounting job, you can say if you have done professional exams, you can show the professional qualification, or you can say how good we with numbers or numerics. In some of the assignments you did in school, projects you have undertaken with require a lot of data analytics and projections and financial analysis. So you can show all that. These are parallel transferable skills. And also if you're going for like a marketing job, you can show that probably if you have professional qualification, that's fine. But at the same time, some practical, what you can build in terms of the skill set, you can always show some creative projects that you have done, creative advertising in terms of developing various leaflets or maybe posters in certain projects. So we can bring that creativity out. And of course, interpersonal skills, team leadership skills, you can always relate to sports activities, position sales, committees, subcommittees, various group activities that you have done. So to do that, you need to really understand, you can't share those in isolation. You need to match those skills to the functions that the job role that they are advertised. So you need to really understand what is the JD, what is that they're looking at from the JD. So understand the culture of the organization. Even if you're first entry level, you need to understand the organization. And what is the solution they want to solve from the job that has been advertised. So you need to make sure that your whatever experience you have in your school days, your academic matches what the job function entails. So that is the most important thing. And last but not least is basically another important thing that really comes out very clearly is from at entry level is a lot of candidates, they play the victim card. They approach a sympathetic approach towards themselves basically. It was hard life for me. It was with great sacrifice. I finished the degree. My parents are so and so, and we are, coming from this background. So organizations, companies, especially private organizations, they are really not interested in that, and they don't want people with negative vibes coming in. So leave that out. If you had a hard time, everyone have his own story. If you have a hard time in finishing a degree and it was a lot of sacrifice, that's great. But you can show that in a different level in terms of commitment levels. But don't make it as the big story or the punchline, because they don't want to see any negatives come. You want to show that you're ready for the organization. If it's a private organization or middle tier, I'm ready for and I'm aware of what that functions. So always link your conversation to the functions and match the job skills that is expected from that role. That is the key. Really, really have to match. So be confident, and as I said, sell your personality and try to engage and connect with the interviewer and understand where the interviewer comes from, his background. Look at various triggers, emotions, what are his values, beliefs. Do some what is called interview profiling. Who is going to, you can call the employer and ask who is going to interview you. And then the name of the game is basically differentiate. There will be all others selling about education, qualification. You show you are different in terms of skill set. So there you go. So if you like this video, please put a thumbs up, ring the bell for notification. Please feel to share with your friends and visit my channel, Get Hired. And thank you for watching. See you soon.